This is Eagle Owl, and today we're going to talk about such a roller coaster yesterday. I mean, man, there were goods and there were bads. I mean, to Jordan Davis being named player of the week, to practice starting, we seeing Zack Baun and Jihaad Campbell not practicing. Yes, it was one of those days yesterday, but let's get straight into it. All right, man. So let's take this roller coaster ride together, man. When I said there were ups, there were ups. So shout out to the special teams player of the week, Jordan Davis, 2 blocked field goals. I mean, come on. It was written all over the wall or whatever you say. Jordan Davis was going to be the special teams player of the week. He did things on that side. And I wish, honestly, Isaiah Rodgers didn't have such a good game because he could have won both. In my personal opinion, he could have been defensive player of the week and special teams player of the week. But Isaiah Rodgers, perfect day. Can't argue that. Like you can't fight that. Like literally the perfect day Isaiah Rodgers had with the Minnesota Vikings. But Jordan Davis, I mean, he definitely deserved it. And I'm happy he's starting to get the recognition he earned. Sometimes you see Jordan Davis, especially like week 1. A lot of people, even including me, my initial reaction, I'm like, it felt like Jordan Davis ain't do anything. Then when you go back and rewatch, you're like, oh, you see what he's doing. But now the stuff he's doing is starting to show up on the stat sheet. It's starting to be shown nationally because we know the Rams and the Eagles was a big game. And they're like, oh, that guy Jordan Davis, he might be ready now. So shout out to Jordan Davis. And that's how the day started. I'm like, oh man, defense getting praise. We looking good. I mean, seemed like everybody healthy. Then boom, that bombshell came. Eagles roster move. So I seen a bunch of names. And the name that stood out to me, Nolan Smith on IR. What the hell? What the hell happened? I ain't seen no injury. I ain't seen him going to the blue tent. What's going on? Looking more into it, searching. So I'm like, oh, there you go. He tweaked that same right arm that been hurt. And y'all gonna get mad at me, but what I kept saying about Nolan Smith, man. What I kept saying about Nolan Smith, y'all tell me in the comments. I love Nolan Smith, but once they start ramping up them snaps, can he stay healthy? Eagle Owl, you a hater. You a hater, bruh. Like, you just don't like Nolan Smith. And what's your problem with Nolan Smith? I say he's good. I say he's talented. I say he can be great. But I don't think his health can hold up. I said that. And I was a hater. Week 3. Tweak that right arm again. That same right arm coming out of college. Same right arm since rookie year. And the same right arm from last year, and he tweaked it this year. So would this hurt his negotiation power? Sure. But you could tell there was something. Like, he was really good in the run game, but getting a quarterback, and then when you rewatch the film, especially towards the end of the game, you see him not really using his right arm too much. But there were reports out there like Nolan Smith didn't speak to the media yesterday. It looked like he will speak today. And he was in high spirits. That's really good. He even posted like a little message on Instagram. And to summarize it, he's just like, the show must go on, something like that. I put it right here. But it was really positive. So he's still in a positive state. That's all you could really ask for about Nolan Smith. But yeah, that's really good. But before we get into the next topic, I want to go over some of the roster moves we made. And one roster move that we made that made me extremely worried. So I seen we signed Marcus Epps, Cam Latu, and Perry Nickerson to the after roster and replaced Jacorian Bennett and Darius Cooper and linebacker Nolan Smith, who's on IR. And they said we also signed Lance Dixon, Eli Ritz, and Quez Watkins. Now, honestly, the one that worried me the most, because we knew the Jacorian Bennett news already came out, the one that really worried me, I'm like, why are we signing a linebacker? That one got me because I'm like, which linebacker is hurt? Soon as I seen that before the injury report, I put this on everything I love. And I hate to swear, I'm like, why the hell are we signing a linebacker? I'm like, Jihaad Campbell or Zack Baun is hurt. One of those guys are hurt. And one of those guys might miss a game, whereas though we got to elevate another linebacker. And I was right. I was on it. So practice start, videos start coming out. You see Zack Baun with this big ass knee brace on, and you see Jihaad Campbell with no helmet. So I was technically wrong because it was both of them. I'm like, it might be one of them, but both of them hurt, man. This is the Tampa effect. This is the Tampa effect. I'm like, cool. I get to see Trotter to see what he do. But I didn't expect to see Smile Monday and Trotter. I thought I was going to see Trotter and Campbell or Trotter and Baun maybe for a game or two. But, Jihaad Campbell did speak on it a little bit. He didn't really give it any hints. He's like day by day. And then the official practice report came out. Or, I'm sorry, the injury report came out. And this is what it said. So Zack Baun, knee did not practice. Jihaad Campbell, triceps did not practice. Dory Jackson, groin did not practice. And then you got Lane Johnson, who was limited but expected to play. Tanner McKee still dealing with that thumb, limited. And Will Shipley was a full participant. So, yeah, the injury bug definitely strike the Philadelphia Eagles. Definitely strike us, man. It's not looking good for us right now. Going into Tampa, which it should be 106 degrees or feel like 106 degrees, which is insane. Once again, look like we're going out there banged up, hot as hell. And it's like, oh, man, this is always Tampa, man. Tampa always catches us at the right time, as far as on their side. But then they getting healthy. So I'm like, let me see what's going on in Tampa. Baker Mayfield was limited over there, which I believe he will play. But Chris Godwin, the guy I thought wouldn't play, he was a full participant. He trying to come back and play the Philadelphia Eagles. So, look, they might have Chris Godwin and the rookie they signed. So, Keely Ringo is going to start because Eli Rich was obviously cut. He better be ready. If he got to deal with Chris Godwin or the rookie, I don't know who they going to let Quinion shadow. He got to shadow one of those guys. And we got to just hope for the best with Keely Ringo. And then we're going to have possibly, because Zack Baun was saying like he's good or whatever, but possibly we're going to have two bench linebackers. Two linebackers that play the bench. A rookie and the second-year starter. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. So, hopefully those guys are prepared and those guys are ready. I'm trying to look at it. It's only week 4. But at the same time, this might come down to seeding because the Bucs are 3-0. So, when you look at the Rams game and now the Bucs game, this comes between first and second seed and tiebreakers. So this game, even though it's the beginning of the season, it can be a big impact. So hopefully whoever out there give it their best and we could still win the game. But right now, man, the Eagles defense look a little decimated. 2 cornerbacks injured, 2 linebackers possibly injured, and Nolan Smith is on IR. It's like, you know what happens. You look at Dallas or something, right? They dealing with injuries. You look at even the Bucs dealing with injuries. It's just that time of the year, week 4, the first quarter of the season, injuries start to pile up. And it depends on which team can fight through it, go through it, and get the healthiest. Sometimes those are the teams that win the Super Bowl, like us last year. For the most part, we was healthy. I think every single starter besides Nakobe Dean played in the Super Bowl. So, you want to keep that trend going. So we hurt right now in the beginning of the year. Hopefully towards the end of the year, we can stay healthy when it really, really, really matters, when it's do or die, in the playoffs and stuff like that. But right now, going into week 4, we're a little decimated, but I believe in Fangio. He probably could get this thing going and rolling, hopefully. And prayers up for the guys that are hurt, man. Get better, man. Nolan Smith, Darius Cooper, get healthy, get better. All right, so before we get into what Jalen Hurts had to say, this magnificent quote, and AJ Brown speaking on the adjustments, let's give a shout out to the show sponsor, Profit X. Profit X is a new peer-to-peer sports exchange where you can play against other fans and not the house. That means better lines and even a chance to set your own odds. Download the app, use promo code EAGLEAL, and get 1.5% Profit X cash back for your first 30 days up to $200. Again, download the app, promo code EAGLEOwl, and start getting the best lines in the game. All right, so as you see today, the Seattle Seahawks and Cardinals. Told y'all, man, I like the Seattle Seahawks in this one. I like the point spread right here, and I like the under, especially a Thursday game, divisional game. It's going to be gritty, I think, defensively, but I believe the Seattle Seahawks edge this one out. But if you don't like these lines, 157 markets, click on this and get multiple lines, money lines right here, spreads up here, as you see. So again, man, Profit X, man, this is a dope app. Urge you guys to check it out. Again, promo code EAGLEOwl, and let's get back into the video. All right, man, let's talk some offense a little bit, a little positivity. And Jalen Hurts dropped one of those magnificent quotes on us once again. And let me play this clip.
When you go out on the field, hope is in the game plan, and worry and fear is in the game plan either. And so going out there and truly feeling confident in having an answer versus anything that they do, that's always, what you're striving for. I think playing the quarterback position and just playing offensive ball, everybody wants to have that sense of security in what we're doing. And then you have times where, they kind of get you, and that's a part of the game, and you learn from it, and you build from that.
Hope and fear. It's not the game plan, man. It's not the game plan. Jalen Hurts got to drop one of those. It's a Twitter page called Jalen Isms or something like that. It's a pretty dope Twitter page, and they just have a bunch of like Jalen Hurts quotes and stuff he has say, cliches. And I really like that Twitter page. Shout out to them. But this is one of those things, these that Jalen Isms right here. Like he's dropping gems, but I like everything he said right there. Like, yo, just think it's not based on fear, the game plan, or based on hope. You got to strategize these things and do what you have to do on the field. You got to plan this stuff out. And again, man, I like everything Jalen Hurts is saying, the way he's moving. And he even said in this interview, like, sometimes each year it takes a different Jalen Hurts. I thought Jalen Hurts last year was more laid back, but when he had to step in and be Superman, he did. I think this year he's taking more of the leadership role, being more vocal, because that's what it takes, especially with a new offensive coordinator. Even though he's been in the building for years as the passing game coordinator, but calling plays and calling the shots, I think Kevin Patullo needs Jalen help more than any other year Jalen Hurts decided to step in. I'm not sure if I'm even phrasing that right. Meaning, Jalen Hurts, to me, he should have been more vocal towards when the Brian Johnson era, but that defense was terrible. I'm not saying we would have went far, but I thought Jalen Hurts should have been more into the game plan, more into what's going on. This year, new offensive coordinator, I think he's taking that approach like, okay, this guy is new. Let me give my input of what's going on. And if you look at the Rams' first half and second halves, first half, not many audibles, letting Kevin Patullo call the plays, and it was kind of vanilla. You see, we was getting blown out. Jalen Hurts, second half, more audibles, more vocal, basically going off on the offensive coordinator. And Jalen Hurts said that's what it took, and that's what I'm going to do for this team to win. So I like Jalen Hurts' mindset. And I like AJ Brown mindset as well. He talked about the adjustments and how they just got to be faster. And I agree. But you go through the first quarter, you're like, okay, none of the stars eating. Saquon not eating. Devontae not eating. AJ not eating. Okay, this game plan, obviously, whatever we script is not working. we had to adjust, and we had to adjust fast. And AJ Brown spoke on that, and let me play this clip.
Balance that then, now that it is public that that's how you want this offense to be run, what do those conversations look like with the coaching staff going forward then?
See, that's where I kind of messed up at, because, you know, those are my feelings, and I express that to the world. So, but obviously, if that doesn't go that way, obviously everyone's going to say AJ's not happy. But obviously, the goal is to win the game, and obviously we want to do that first. But like I was just saying, like, I think it just kind of took too long for us as an offense to adjust and be more aggressive. You know, when one thing's not working, I was just saying, like, let's not continue to keep trying to hit our head on the wall and see if it's going to work. And let's mix it up and do what we need to do. So that's what I meant by that. And so.
I like what he said, too. Like, the adjustments just got to be quicker. He's like, you know, some of the things I shouldn't have said, it's more my opinion, but these adjustments got to be faster. And I couldn't agree more with A.J. Brown. Kevin Patullo get faster with the adjustments. I believe he could be a better offensive coordinator in this league. Especially, like, say if he didn't wait till the second half or whatever happened in the second half. Imagine if he did that, let's say second quarter. Like, yo, we could have did some things and did some real damage to the Rams. Came back earlier, because sometimes 2 block field goals is not going to happen, you know. The defense held up as long as they can. But a lot of those 3 and outs tired out our defense, and that's why we was getting gashed a lot in the run game, because we're tired. The defense is tired. Offense got to help out the defense by staying on the field a little longer. So imagine if we got to that groove a little faster, the defense would have, you know, start kicking in, then the offense doing that. Again, we could have did some real damage. I think we did some psychological damage to the Rams, but it shouldn't have took 1 second left, 3 seconds left for Jordan Davis to block the field goal. Like, we could have been adjusted and blew these dudes out. Simple as that. But, you know, you live and you learn. And that's all I got for you guys today. Hey, man, what do you think? How do you feel about the news? Look, man, hopefully things you'll figure it out on the defensive side, because honestly, y'all, it's not looking good. Hopefully one of the linebackers can go out there and play. Honestly, if both, that'd be great, but I'm being realistic. One might sit out, and Jihaad Campbell or Zack Baun, but both of them against Smile Monday and Trotter, against Tampa, against Urban Buck, man, I'm telling you, man, it might be a long day, man, and that might be the day. We need the offense. This is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.